After that previous presentation, I will explain how you will gain your income from it. First, we have what we call retail profit. Retail profit is the revenue received from buying it at the distributor price and selling the product at the retail price. But we will not focus on that. We will focus on how to build a network. Now let me explain to you one by one on where the bonuses you receive will come from. You entered this business through a sponsor. A sponsor is someone who introduced this business to you, whereas this sponsor has joined our business called Winalite, and then your sponsor joined the support system called Freedom FaithNet Global, or FFG. I will explain later on what Winalite and Freedom FaithNet Global are. After you join this business and then you refer this business to others, for example A and B, this business is actually very simple because everyone can do it as long as they can recommend it to someone else. Like if you recommend someone to a certain restaurant, a certain movie, or to go to a certain doctor, etc. If you can do this, then you can do this business. If you have referred A and B into this business, it depends on where A and B choose their entry level. There are 4 entry levels here. First, Diamond. We will receive 30 sets, product introduction bonuses or PIB of $300 and a 1,500 PB. Second, Platinum. We will receive 12 sets, product introduction bonuses or PIB of $120 and 600 PV. Third, Gold. We will receive 5 sets, product introduction bonuses or PIB of $50 and 250 PV. Fourth, Silver. We will receive 1 set, product introduction bonuses or PIB of $10 more or less. It may vary from country to country, and 50 PV. We strongly recommend that you start with only A and B group first. For example, you refer this to A and B. If A joins the Diamond level, you will receive a PIB of $300. If B joins the Platinum level, you will receive a PIB of $120. So your total amount of PIB is $420, and that's just the PIB. Besides that, you will also receive what is called a multiplier bonus. The multiplier bonus is calculated based on the point value or PV. In this example, if A joins at the Diamond level, then there is a point value of 1,500 PV. B joins at the Platinum level, so the point value is 600 PV. The formula for the multiplier bonus is 10% from the lesser legs. In this example with A and B, B is the lesser leg, so you will get the multiplier bonus of 600 PV times 10%. You will receive an additional $60 on top of the $420. Let's say that in the first week you introduce this to 2 people. And then in the following week, A introduces it to A1 and again to A2. Maybe A1 and A2 are people that you know, or maybe you don't know them at all. And B does the same thing. B introduces B1 or B2. But besides that, you have another direct distributor. For example, C. You place C under A1. Then you meet D and put D under B2. For instance, you meet someone again, E in this case. You introduce 3 people, which is called direct referrer or direct distributor. I assume that there are 7 transactions in the second week. I assume that all join on the Diamond level. This will make it easier for you to comprehend thus how commissions are calculated.